So we're doing the sketch. We're in the middle of the sketch. Something goes wrong. It breaks. The camera stops or something like that. And he's like, I'm like, okay, here we go. And he's like, wait a second. I'm going to check on something. Is this pretty good? Does everybody think this is good? This seems funny to me. Does it seem funny to you? And all around the room, yes, Mr. Trump. Fantastic, Mr. Trump. Great, Mr. Trump. I was like, wait. Does anybody ever say something isn't good? And he goes, no, and that's part of the problem, Frank. I can't get real answers. So he was in on the joke, and that like made me like him a lot more at the time. I was like, oh my gosh, he gets it. And I thought that was pretty cool. Then afterwards, because he's telling me, that's great. What you do is fantastic. It really is. He used every adjective he could. So he goes, do you have a couple minutes? I'm like, sure. He takes me down in an elevator. The elevator stops in between floors. There's a guy with white gloves manning the elevator. I'm thinking this is The Sopranos. I feel like Journey's going to start playing the elevator. That was it. You're done. Okay. So we get onto the elevator, and he takes me over to a kiosk, and we're in Trump Tower. He takes me to the ground floor kiosk and goes, do you like ties? I'm like, sure. He starts giving me all these Trump ties. And he goes, do you like cufflinks? I'm like, I don't know. He goes, do you wear cufflinks? I'm like, not yet, but I'm going to start if you're handing them out. So he gives me a pair of cufflinks. Then he goes, are you married? I was like, yeah. He goes, do you like your wife? Which was a very telling question, right? Coming from somebody. Because I have a harem over here that you can choose from. So he then gives me this watch. And when he gives me the watch, he takes the price tag off of the watch and hands it to me. Diamond-studded watch. And I don't know what to think. It's Donald Trump, right? But it's also the ground floor of Trump Tower. So I'm not sure if it's real or it's not. It's probably not real, but he sends me out into New York City with this diamond-studded watch. And I find out that it's costume jewelry, but I'm like, he's got the joke's on me, right? He got me. And I'm like, that's brilliant. You just played me completely. And I couldn't tell because you're Donald Trump. And it was so funny. As we're coming down an escalator, he's like, do you see that Starbucks right there? That's the number one Starbucks in the entire country. And Howard Schultz called me, the CEO of Starbucks, and told me that's the number one. And you would think on the ground floor of Trump Tower, that would make sense. But on the second floor, that's incredible. That's the number one. And you have to go up this escalator, the number one escalator. And I said that to him. I goes, is everything number one with you? And he goes, Frank, if it wasn't, I wouldn't have any part of it.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.